what's going on, everybody? My name is Chad. This week, I know it's a couple weeks late. If you saw my post, terribly sorry. We had some equipment malfunction. However, if you can also tell how much better everything looks, that's because you guys, the community, saved the day. You actually helped me afford a bunch of new lighting, even though all mine broke. So this week, it's dedicated to you. We're going over my JLPT results a half a month late. Let's see how I did. This week, like every other week, is brought to you by our Patreons. Everyone at the Manga Club, from the $1 all the way up to the 25 tier, I appreciate you guys. You help me be able to do this week in and week out. Also like to thank the Saturday night stream tippers for helping me afford this new lighting rig, which, you guys are the absolute goats. I can't even explain how happy I am. But enough with me. You guys came for the JLPT results for 2018. This is my second attempt at the test, and we're actually gonna go back over what I got this year, last year, and just over this whole year's worth of studying in general. However, in order for me to show you guys this probably well, I would like to actually be able to do this with a computer, so we are going to switch to computer screen view, because I also want to show you guys how to do this. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who have no idea how to check their results, or maybe they're nervous that they're not gonna be able to find it online. I took mine last December in country, so in America. So right here, I have the JLPT testing and results notification main page. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And you can see, depending on what country you took it in, there's different links. I'm in other countries here, so I'm gonna click on that. And I've noticed that it tends to be very slow for some reason. I don't quite understand why the website has to be a snail's pace, but I mean, that just explains Japan anyways. All right, the nice thing for a lot of you guys out there, the higher up you go in the levels, the less it's going to matter. You low-level testers out there, yes, there is English. So it does give you instructions. Essentially, you don't need a lot of this. You're just going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and right here it says, see your results. You're going to click that. Oh, it pulled right up. Wow, that's shocking. That never happens. I've already seen my results about 1,000 times, and so when you guys start testing, you'll get a sheet like you have to bring with you to the test site. You're going to need that number that's on there to check your results. I already happen to have seen this, so I just click it each time, and that's my number. I'm actually quite proud of this number right here, because this number happens to mean that I was the first person to sign up. The number one room for Colorado's JLPT this year was 20000, etc. And that just means I was the first person. If you got that number 13, you're the 13th person. So that tells you, like, right when it was online, I was the first person to sign up. And then your passcode, which is a 8-digit number that you also made when you created your account to sign up for the JLPT. And you're going to be able to just hit the login button, and it'll show you exactly what you got, which, as you can see right here, no, I did not pass. But that's not the important part. The important part is why and how I don't do that next time. And especially when you look at the scores, it is promising. So somewhere on the screen, probably at the top left, I will put my last year's results that I shared with you guys. So you can see that was my last year's results. Here's this year's results. And there is improvement, which is all I could ever really ask of myself. First things first, what did I get to not pass? Well, I got a overall 71. In language and knowledge, I got a 26. Sorry, it's hard to see with all these new lights, which I guess is a good problem. My reading is a 19, and my listening's also a 26. So there is some good news here. Last year, I only passed 2 of the 3 segments, meaning that that's a fail anyways. The way that they grade this is you need to get at least a 19 in each segment to pass minimum, and then you have to get a 90 out of 180 overall to pass the overall test. Here, I passed all 3 sections, although reading was by the skin of my teeth. And I also have this question a lot. A lot of people ask, hey, Chad, you know, is that number the amount you got right? And the answer that I originally thought was wrong, learned 2 years ago, that the JLPT is a scaled test, which shouldn't be new to a lot of certificate people. A lot of these, like the ACT, SAT for Americans, or a lot of these tests that get into colleges or get you, like, insurance certification. A lot of that stuff are scaled, so these aren't exactly what you got. There's not like 60 questions in the test and then you have to get them half right. You generally do, but again, if you take a harder version of a test, you have to get less right. If you take an easier version of the test, you have to get more right. For me, apparently, I got all 3 right, but I didn't get the overall score. I was, in fact, 19 short, which isn't that bad. Compared to last year, I did get a net gain of 10 points over the year, and I'm pretty proud of that, seeing as though I wasn't able to study as hardcore as I want, because I am in graduate school and I have to be a faithful student there to not flunk out, especially since I'm spending so much freaking money on it. Even though I'm not doing my crazy, 8-hour day sprees like I was doing my first 2 years of Japanese, I still managed improvement while also in graduate school. So any of you people out there that say, hey, I can't devote the time to Japanese, I'm in school, and, I'm working. Ditto, and I still improved 10 points on the JLPT from last year, so you have no excuse. Now, I also saw this thing here, this is the reference information. I got these exact same scores last time, and I've tried to find info on them. Honestly, I think they're extremely arbitrary because I don't understand how you can get a B in either of those sections and still only get just a hair under half. So I don't quite understand why you give that. Maybe one of you guys can tell me in the comments down below. But let's talk about next year. I wanted to go to Japan in July to retake it, but the problem is I hate Japan in July. I hate Japan in July more than I hate Texas in July, and I'm not talking about the band. It is so hot that I'm just not, it's not worth the test. So I'm just gonna do it again in December, whether it be in Japan or not, depends on if I can get a cheap enough ticket around then. I will be in Japan in the fall, just don't know if I'm gonna be there in the winter. So what do we do? What's plan B, Chad? What are we gonna plan in order to get this done? Well, I actually created a little note spread. Oh, that's not it. Here we are, JLPT results. Here's the 2019 Japanese plan. Should be pretty simple. I have actually compiled, I went over and counted every single word in all of the N3 and N2 vocabulary lists that I do not know. At the time of making that, which was 2 weeks ago, I was missing 46 from N3. Today, I actually just got done with my vocabulary running of flashcards and learning new words, and I only have 3 left. So we're actually gonna change that to a 3 here live. So out of all, 3,000 on the N3, there's only 3 words I don't know. And I'm gonna do those today once I'm done editing this test. As for the N2, the ones that are for sure on the list that were not highlighted from last year is 732 out of 6,000, which is pretty good. I don't know what percentage that is, somewhere in the 80s, I think. But essentially, I actually only have, we're gonna fix this here, total vocab remaining to have 100% of what I need to know on that is actually only 700 and I believe 35, which isn't a tremendous amount. Now, currently in grad school, I can manage, while also still studying for school, about 5 new words every day, 5 days a week, giving myself the weekends to really pound in review and any words I'm struggling with, which is about 1,300 new words every year. Given the amount of weeks that we have left in this year and learning that way, which is 25 new words every single week, apparently I'm looking at around September 23rd to be done with all of the vocabulary, which is awesome. 70 days to really pound in the vocabulary and grammar section to try and get those extra points. Now, if I don't change my study habit at all, and it continues, these are a lot of ifs and hypotheticals, and it continues on the trajectory it was last year. If I can increase another 10, that puts me at 81, which is only 9 points away from passing. So what can I do to wring out those extra 9 points? I'm putting all of my time and devotion extra on top of what I was doing last year solely into reading. I'm gonna re-go over the Seoul Nihongo Matome series, just the reading book. I'm also getting into, because I didn't do this last year, and I think it shows, based on my test results, I actually did vocabulary and grammar books for the new Kansen series. I didn't finish them in time, but I got halfway done. And the listening was mostly because I was in Japan literally until 4 days before the test, so that was still quite high. And I didn't do the reading book, and thus this all makes a lot of sense. So I'm actually going to buy the new Kanzen series, and I'll do a review for you guys when I finish. It should take about 53 days after I get it to finish. That hopefully will keep, both those books will help me keep going, as well as adding that to my already regimented reading session. If you guys don't know, I do read quite a lot, and it matters a lot to me to read a lot. So I'm just basically adding stuff to it. I'm not taking it away. Upon looking at these results, I think maybe I got arrogant because I was still reading a lot, but I feel like maybe I wasn't reading to challenge myself quite enough. So I remember spending so many years just reading and not understanding a word on the page, and then when you start understanding, it's this tingling feeling you get of a superpower. It's like you have the force. Problem is, when you start getting almost or nearly complete comprehension on easy stuff like manga and, certain light novels, children's books, and that stuff, it's easy to stay there, and I think I'm a little bit guilty of that. I do read harder books, I do read hard novels, but I'm maybe not getting the sheer volume that I need. And that's showing up in this test, and that was a real conviction for me. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, the test is scaled and everything's, it's all rigged against us, and it's a hard test and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I'm realistically 19 points away. I'm also realistically 9 points away next year. Truth is, the only person I have to blame is myself, and I'm okay with that. A lot of people can be mad about it. A lot of people can try and find a scapegoat or some. Here's why I didn't pass. You know why I didn't pass? This guy. This is why I didn't pass. And that's okay, because we're going to be better next year, right, guys? You too. If you didn't pass, take your time. Basically, after I found out, that whole week was me just being so hard on myself. But that doesn't get us to victory next year, does it? We can sulk and take your time to sulk. It's okay to get the energy and the emotion out. But it doesn't help us next year, so don't stay sulking. We got to hit the ground running now, because, guys, it's only 10 months till the next exam. We need to actually pass this year. Both me and you, even if you're not at the N2 level, whatever you're going for, even if it's not the JLPT, we're passing whatever we're doing for our goals this year. So that's the plan. I am going to add the 2 new reading JLPT prep resources, add a lot more reading into this year, continue on the path with vocabulary and grammar, hopefully can still improve. I think I improved about 6 to 8 points in language and grammar just this year. If I can get that again, awesome. And then I should be in Japan in the fall, so my listening hopefully will stay at about a 26 as long as it doesn't drop. I'm content. That's my results from this year. It is both, it hurt in a good way, like ripping off a Band-Aid, and I think it helped. It helped me analyze some stuff, and I really think that's the point of this test. Using it as like a benchmark for fluency, the more I've grown in my Japanese and have learned, the less likely I think it is to be a sufficient tester of fluency. However, it does show you a very good block of information of where you're at and how you can improve. And as long as you use this test to improve, I think you never actually truly fail. The only people that fail are the people that look at this test and don't try and improve because of it. All right, if you guys like this video, be sure to like it down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, leave them in the comment box down below. I do personally read all of them. If you guys like to support this channel, a couple things you could do. Subscribe to this channel. We're almost at 12,000. It would mean a tremendous amount to me to hit 12,000 here before my semester ends, just as a personal goal. I think we're only like 100 and some odd amount. But the subscription button's right down below. Also, I had some people saying they weren't getting my videos to their box. I mean, I get it, YouTube. If you do, like, you want to see my videos and my live streams as they go up, the easiest way to do that is to hit the notification bell down below. Also, I do live streams every single Saturday. We watch anime together. We talk about, you know, Japanese language and culture. We have a lot of fun. We also talk about random stuff. And it's a pretty good time if you ask me. So stop on by Saturday for one of those live streams. It is 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Gosh, I'm losing my English. I think that's about it right now. Also, the Manga Club. We have 1 spot open, so go to the Patreon down below. Get in on it. If you don't know the Manga Club by now, you're probably already too late to get in on it. So, I think that'll be it for this week. Love hard, everybody. Love deep. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.